What's up guys, today we're going over what is Destiny 2's best super, and I'm going to be testing all of the traditional DPS supers in this video, so none of the roaming supers, just the ones that you'll be looking to use for DPS, and comparing all of their different damages and seeing which one is the best. In this video, I will be testing them without a debuff, but obviously all supers in the game can have a debuff applied to them for a 30% increase to their damage. So in this video, I'll show off both their damage without it and with it, and it should affect them all obviously the same except for Tether, because after the first shot of Tether, obviously they're already under a debuff, so it only affects like the very first portion of the damage. But either way, this video will be relevant for both solo players and fire teams. Also, all the supers in this video will be with their most optimal exotic armor piece. So for example, start your skills on Hunter, so on and so on. Also, I will be using the artifact mod Thunderous Retort, which will make it so arc supers do a little bit more damage, and I'll be doing it with and without this mod for those arc supers. So jumping straight in, the first character I'm going to be looking at is going to be Warlock, and there's going to be a few DPS supers, the first being Nova Bomb and the Vortex version. So looking at damage, and all of it will be on this strike boss from the arms dealer, and I added up all numbers in all these clips and slow-mo zoomed in to make sure I didn't miss anything. And also you just kind of look at the health bar will be a good gauge of what is doing more than the next. But the Vortex with a debuff would do 419,000 damage, which is pretty low compared to everything else in this video. So up next will be the Cataclysm version of the Nova Bomb, which will make it shatter upon impact and do like little mini novas that track the target. So looking at that, once again, the initial impact does a lot of damage, then it splits up into 4 little projectiles that will hit for a total with a debuff of 440,000, so only slightly more than the Vortex. But overall, this one would be better for Actor also. And the other super on Warlock will be Geomag Stabilizers plus Chaos Reach. So looking at that damage on the Strike Boss, this one's going to do quite a bit more and last quite a bit longer. So it might not be like the best burst DPS super because you're going to be stuck in the animation for quite a while. But the total damage with a debuff will be 705,000, so quite a bit more than both of the Nova Bombs. So this is our first arc super of the video. So looking at Thunderous Retort, the easiest way to proc this is using your super while amplified, or you can do it when you're red bar health, but amplified would be a lot easier. And one thing it says is it lasts until the end of the super activation, which will be a key thing to remember later on in the video. But with Chaos Reach, as you see, it will be exactly a 30% increase to the super damage, and it will last for the entire Chaos Reach super, now hitting for that 14,000 number, and that will make it a total of 916,000 with a debuff, which is starting to look pretty strong, and definitely by far the best Warlock super. Moving on to Titan, there's only going to be one super, and that's going to be the Falling Star plus Thunder Crash. So look at damage on the Strike Boss. This one's going to be more of a burst DPS super, where you just activate it and it'll do all this damage practically all at once. So adding up all those numbers, it's going to hit for a total with a debuff of 744,000. So a little bit better than the Chaos Reach. And once again, pairing it up with the artifact mod. So this is where the first time where you can kind of see where it's only under the super activation. The second your bar goes back to like no super energy, it will no longer have the Thunderous Retort buff. But since a lot of the damage is up front with the crash, it's still going to have a huge increase up to 951,000 with a debuff, once again higher than Chaos Reach. So moving on to Hunter, and Hunter will have all kinds of DPS supers. So first one will be Nighthawk plus the Marksman Golden Gun. And one thing to note is it says benefits from being radiant, so make sure to dodge with the radiant buff or use your melee to proc the radiant with the fragment. And now doing that, looking at damage, it's going to hit for 422,000, and with a debuff that'll go up to 549. So not too bad, definitely better than like Nova Bomb, but not that great. And next on Hunter are the tethers. So Mobius will be the highest damage tether, and there's gonna be a few different exotics we can use that are gonna be pretty similar. So the first one's gonna be Orpheus Rig, which will make it so we can shoot 3 shots and it will require no setup at all. So very easy just to slap this on, and the 3 tethers will hit for all these different numbers, and the second and third tether will be under a debuff. So when we add the debuff to just the first shot, it only goes up to 535. So with or without a debuff, it's practically the same damage. With Tether, we can also use Star Eater skills, which just got a kind of buff. They were bugged for multiple seasons. The past few seasons, you needed 8 stacks to get the full damage buff, but when they first came out, it was only 4, and now it's back to only requiring 4, which is very good. This will be a lot easier to actually get the ×4 when you need to use your super. And now with that, it's going to be a 70% increase, so 1.7x damage increase to the super damage. So looking at that plus the tether, not only will it do more damage than Orpheus Riggs, it only is 2 tether shots now, so it should be less downtime of you doing damage with your weapons. So Star Eater skills is definitely the way to go if you're trying to get a lot of damage out of your tether and get back to using your weapons quicker for a total of 621,000. So not too bad, but not as high as Chaos Reach or Thunder Crash. And second from last on Hunter will be Star Eater skills with the new Arc Super Gathering Storm. And this one is going to be pretty interesting. It's not going to be like a burst damage, but once you throw it, you're free to use your weapons whatever you want. So even though the damage takes quite a while to do, it's still not letting it create any more downtime than just like using a Thunder Crash. And adding up all the different numbers with Gathering Storm, the total damage was 941,000 with a debuff, so that is by far the highest we've seen yet. And we can also add in the Arc mod, but once again, once your super is no longer like activated, as you see like the bar disappears practically instantly, that is the only amount of time that the Thunder's Retort actually increases the damage. So it's only like the first burst of damage, so it really doesn't increase the total damage of the super, only by like a few 10,000, taking the total with a debuff to 984,000. Kind of a good thing that it's not dependent on a seasonal artifact. And finally, the last super of the video, Star Eater skills plus Blade Barrage. So looking at that once again on the strike boss, this one's gonna have all kinds of numbers that are really hard to add up, let me tell you. But if you look at the health bar alone, it is the furthest we pushed his health. And adding all those numbers up, I found out there were 20 blades that both did impact and explosion numbers, for a total with a debuff of just over 1 million. So recapping all the supers in this video, here are the bottom 6, both versions of the Nova Bomb, Orpheus Tether, Nighthawk, Star Eater Tether, then Chaos Reach. Then for the top 6 in the video, in 6th place we have Thunder Crash, in 5th we have Chaos Reach plus the Artifact mod, in 4th we have Star Eaters plus Gathering Storm, in 3rd we have Thunder Crash plus the Artifact mod, in 2nd we have the Gathering Storm plus Star Eater skills plus the mod, and in 1st we have Star Eater skills plus Blade Barrage. So overall, it seems like Hunter still has the 2 best damage supers in the entire game, and they're kind of very different. The Blade Barrage will do all this damage right away, so that's gonna be really good for like a strike boss or something with a very narrow window for DPS. While the Gathering Storm will do a lot of damage up front, but will also take a lot of time to do its entire like dot damage. So for a raid boss where you have like a 15-20 second window, no problem at all. And both of them have very short animations, so the second you use it, you can go back to your weapons. You know, on Arc you can go for like a 1-2 punch combo on top of the lingering damage. So yeah, overall the Hunter is just still the best in terms of DPS supers. Thunder Crash and Chaos Reach aren't too far behind this season because of the Artifact mod. But as you saw, the 2 Hunter ones barely relied on the Artifact mod, so they'll still be extremely good after this season. Then everything else in the video was kind of far behind and didn't really keep up at all. But to be fair to things like Tether, they're obviously more of a utility super. And the old classics of Nova Bomb and Nighthawk, which were like the top DPS supers back when the game first came out, now just completely suck and don't even come close. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the video. I hope this helped out. Like usual, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.